Hey guys, today we're going to go through an alternative to the Vlookup when looking up values from one data table to another. Alright, so let's get started. This alternative method actually makes use of two functions, the index function and the match function, right? If you can understand both of these, how these work, then putting the pieces together is pretty seamless. I'll walk you through that. Just want to let you guys know, in my opinion, the index match is the VLOOKUP's older brother, just because of the versatility, and I think it allows you to do a bit more than what the VLOOKUP function can do. But anyways, we're going to start with looking at a key concept, and then we'll go through both the index and then the match functions and how they come together to give you a alternative way to look up values from one table to another. So the first thing I want to go over is that key concept is when you're looking at data tables, whether you're aware of this or not, it's important to remember that data tables, right, they always have, whether it's explicitly there like it is in this table or it's not explicitly there like this table, the index for a table is essentially the number of the rows down the table, right? So for this customer detail table, we have 25 rows. So the index starts from row 1 all the way down in sequential order to row 25, right? For the orders table, it's not, I don't have it explicitly there, right, in index column, but you can keep these in mind. This is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, all the way through all 16 rows, right? Why is it important to keep this in mind? It's because the index function makes use of this type of logic in giving you a value. What the index function is going to do is you're gonna tell it to look in a particular array. In this instance, it will be the customer detail table. And we're going to want the city or state. So let's do the city. You're going to tell the index function, you're going to tell it, look in this array and then give me the value that I want based off of the index number, right? So for this customer number, TX 1005, right, I want the city and the state, which we're going to leave highlighted so we have these for later. The index function, what we're gonna tell it is, look in here, right, in this array, I want the city based off of this row number, row 14, right? Where the match function comes in is, we don't want to keep delineating the row number or the index number every single time we push this index function. So what the match function does is it automatically finds the index number that matches for the city that you're going to want to look up, right? So the way we do that, or the way the two functions work together to get it done, is while the index you're going to pull from here because we want the city, what you're going to do is find the row number indirectly by finding the customer number that's in the same row, right? So we know TX 1005 is in the same row. Its details are in the same row, right? So if we can find the row number for where TX 1005 is, we can feed that row number to our index function to look up in this array and pull the right value, right? So the match gives us the row number we need, and the index function gives us the value from the correct array, right? So let's walk through it, right? So we want the city, right? So we're going to say index. We want the city for customer number TX 1005. So the city can be found in this array, right? So look for the city in this array. We're going to lock this, right? And then say match, right? I want you to look up by customer number, right, in this array, in the customer ID array. Now remember, it's important to keep in mind these two arrays need to match in their, I guess you could say, their address. They need to be the exact same because you want the same row number to correspond across, right? So, oh, looks like I had the wrong one in. So first, I provided the lookup value, right? And then I want you to look up that value in this array, right? And then I want an exact match, so close that out, and then close out the parentheses for the index. And what do we get? We get McKinney is the city for TX 1005, which matches here, right? So let's try it for the state again, just to run through it, and you guys can see it in the works again. So the array index, right? For index, give it the array of where you want to find the value you want to pull. So we want the state. So oh, look at that. We want the state, so I need to give index the array of the value I want pulled, which is a state, right? We log that down to the row, and then we're going to say match. For match, I want to look up based off of this customer ID, and the customer ID, look that up in this array, and then give me an exact match. Then close the match parentheses, and then close the index parentheses, and look at that. Texas, that matches. So let's copy this down, and let's double check a few just to be sure, right? So for it, customer NJ5805, let's find it in this table, the customer detail table. Then the city and state is Berlin, New Jersey, and look at that, it matches over here with our index match, Berlin, New Jersey. Let's look up one more. This customer GA9161, city and state should be Atlanta, Georgia. Look at that, Atlanta, Georgia. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the index match function. The reason I say it's the older brother of the VLOOKUP, right, is because this lookup, this index match, is based off of the actual values of the customer number and the actual value that you want to pull based off of the city you're looking up, right? So what happens is you can add in, right? You can add in rows and you can add in columns, and it won't make a difference because the index match is actually looking for this value. It's not looking for this value like the VLOOKUP and then moving over a specific number of columns, right? It's looking here, and then it's looking in here for the value you want. So that's why, to me, it's more versatile. Not only that, the index match, if you add one more layer to it, if you add another match, so you do an index match, this combination gives you the power to go from looking up tabular data, right? Working with tabular data, right? Like this, where each row is a specific record, to looking up from here, to being able to look up data where you're not tabular, right? Where you have the time period moving as columns. That's a whole nother video, and it's a little bit more complicated, but because of that ability, to me, the index match is that older brother to the VLOOKUP, and then the index match, in my opinion, is the oldest brother of the three. But anyways, let me know if anything was unclear, if you guys need help with understanding it a little bit more, or if you want me to show you more examples. Just shoot me post a comment. So if anybody has the same question, I'll answer it all together. But like always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and to any friends that you think this might help, any analysts, new analysts, getting their feet wet, you think this might help, please share the video. I'd greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys later.